Now, this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. We have learned that the CW is continuing to make a lot of cuts. Now they have gone on to cut their development department. So for those of you at home who aren't quite sure what we're talking about here, basically all their original scripted content, we have gotten rid of a lot of the folks involved here. Our last few executives have been let go. And it looks like the CW is making a big, big pivot to unscripted television. Now, why would you do that? Well, unscripted television is way, way cheaper, y'all. And people still tune in. I love Love is Blind. I am somewhat ashamed of it.
Love is Blind, though, is an act.
Much.
It's fascinating.
It's a really fascinating show. And a lot of these shows just don't cost nearly as much money. You know, CW has renewed shows like All American. I'm not sure where they're standing on Superman and Lois, which is a great, great show, but that costs $5 million an episode.
It's expensive.
And the CW has not been turning a profit for years.
You mean Riverdale hasn't been just bringing in the cash?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
What a surprise.
So, Rob, when you hear about this, what's your takeaway?
Well, look, I mean, right now we have the business is undergoing a sea change. Everyone's still trying to figure out. They call it the streaming wars, but it's not really. The streamers aren't at war with one another because they don't have enough money to fight. They're fighting for their own existence. It's an existential crisis because the problem is, you know, as Hollywood is wont to do, they see something, at least the way I see it, they saw streaming as a way to make easy money. For the first time, your subscription base is money you can look at on a monthly basis, cash flow that is pretty much a sure thing based on your subscriber numbers. Now, everybody wants more subscribers. There's only a finite amount of people that can subscribe on this planet to any streaming service. So everybody has to figure out how can they make it all work. Everyone thinks I have to put on. I mean, making shows is expensive. You know, you look at the streamers, whether it's Disney, billions of dollars in debt, and Disney, even with their back catalog, they're not pulling down. If you look at what Netflix has from all over the world, they have a widely diverse programming slate of all kinds of things, from documentaries to Bollywood romances to Korean shows like Squid Game. I mean, there's so much stuff that the other streamers are trying to catch up, and it's tough. So there's no way to survive by CW never made money. It's never been profitable, ever. So they can't, and they're being sold off. They can't survive doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I believe they're going to be under Nexstar at this point in time. And so it does look like they are doing a lot of the foreign scripts, unscripted.
I mean, how many unscripted shows could you make, like entire runs of the show for the budget of one episode of Superman and Lois?
You can make an ass load of those.
A lot.
Yeah.
And, you hire a good crew to go in, hire some folks cheaply, and go make whatever show you're going to make.
Yeah.
Home improvement shows. You know,
Absolutely.
Discovery made a whole business model out of that.
Exactly. There's a whole Magnolia Network now with Chip and Joanna, you know? All
Absolutely.
shiplap all the time.
No, and I think it's a tough, and with entertainment being more spread out than ever. I mean, hell, I have people telling me how much they like watching classic Star Trek on Pluto TV. I'm like, you guys didn't watch like Last of Us? No, I was marathoning classic Star Trek from 1966 and not watching new stuff. There's so much out there that outspending your opponent is no longer an option. You're going to go straight into the poorhouse.
Well, what's really interesting too about this, for me at least as an actor, is the timing, because it's pilot season. And the CW was where a lot of new material was essentially tested and greenlit, because, you could have these teen dramas or murder mysteries or things like that on this network. And, they'd come and go and everything. But this was still one of the last remaining actual network television groups that was still participating in the idea of pilot season. Because with streaming, right, there's usually something happening kind of all the time. This is what we think about when we're thinking about like those big tentpole operations, your ABCs, your NBCs, etc. But it's really, really interesting to have a network go, hey, we're not doing any of that right now.
Yeah, how do you think the Writers Guild of America feels about more unscripted programming?
And that's what I keep thinking about, is this feels like right before when we had the writer's strike of just, we had that big boom of, all this unscripted television, all this reality television. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think the other networks are going to follow suit to cut costs?
No,
or is
because
this just them.
Look, the flip side of that is we are in a golden age of great content. There is so much great scripted programming being made, But the great stuff is also expensive. I mean, we talk about HBO is still the gold standard of TV shows, whether it's Last of Us, whether it's whatever, Succession. I mean, you look at what HBO is putting out this year, they do a fantastic job, but their shows, you're talking 10 million an episode. I don't know how much Last of Us costs, but I'll tell you, it ain't cheap. And the thing is, when HBO makes a show, you look at a Last of Us or a Succession, it becomes the most watched show in the world. Mm-hmm. Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. But Riverdale ain't that. So, I mean, it's
first season was so fun.
It's hard out there for a showrunner.
I know. It really, really is. Well, guys, we want to know what you think. What do you think about the CW getting rid of most of its scripted department? Do you think this is going to usher in a new era of reality television and other networks might follow suit? Do you think this is just limited to the CW? Do you even know the CW is still around? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save money this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I have told you before that when I was on one of the major phone carriers, I was spending literally 3 times as much every month, and switching to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier. So for people just looking to save some extra money this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in just minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.